Hello, it's Randy Duck, and we're back again for the third episode of Decent Defeats. And we've got two replays for you in this episode, and the first one is in the Tier 10 German Tech Tree light tank, and yeah, we're on Sand River. So yeah, as the title says, it's going to be a decent defeat basically. We're not going to manage to carry this one in the end, but we'll get just about as much out of it as we can do really. So yeah, on Sand River, we've got, it's the worst spawn. This spawn never used to be, back in the day, used to be just as good as the other spawn. Nowadays, you've probably heard me mention on previous videos, this spawn's just nowhere near as good, and that's because this ridge, which I'm going to go to at the start of the game, it just isn't as effective. I make sort of okay use of it at the start of this game, but usually now this is just a starting position where you pop up, just get the early spots, get an early couple of bits of damage, and then move on. Because once you've got lit in this location, it's you stay there too long, you're sending your own death warrant really, because it's just not as good. Mainly because they get across so quickly. You see where I spotted them up, but I'm in a rapid, tank really. I got there, I had a good spawn to get there. I had no delays, I got there as quickly as I possibly could, and most of them had already crossed over, basically. But I did manage to get a couple of shots in and a little bit of assistance. But as you can see, already this position is, it's outliving its uselessness to us, and unfortunately for me, this medium tank, which I'm putting shots in here, he's in a really annoying position for me, because it means I can't use this ridge, the other side, basically, while he's still there. So he needs to go. That's why I was gambling, taking shots in. If I'm honest with you, when I took the first shot into him, I was expecting to put one shot in, get lit, and then run. I was very surprised didn't get lit there. He must have had quite a poor crew, and obviously this does have decent camo. So I'm going to go back through and try and put another shot into him. I was going to try and use these bushes to see if I had a chance of not getting lit. But there is a tank behind us now, and the second I shoot I'm going to get lit. But at the same time, I just want to get rid of his hit points. I want to make this guy move from this position. That's why I took that shot knowing that I was going to get shot and potentially punished for it. I did get hit once. But it wasn't the end of the world. But like I say, I wanted to get rid of him because he was in a very dangerous position. Now, meanwhile, we've now got sort of pushed over by this tortoise and this T30. So I've got to try and deal with this situation, because we're really running out. We're losing this side of the map, which often happens in this spawn. But I don't want to just get completely surrounded. So I want to try and get rid of this guy. So while I've got the opportunities, while this tortoise is distracted, I'm basically just putting shots in where I can here and trying to get a bit of damage and just try and get rid of them. I do have 2 fun police on my team, so I'm thinking, right, there's a good chance one of them might be able to shoot them. That T30 does actually get slapped, and I've got a bit of assistance for that. Try and get a shot in the T30. I can't poke there now because he's looking, but I'm in a very awkward situation, as you can see, because we've got a T30 coming from one side, and then we've got this tortoise coming from the other side. So I'm thinking, well, I don't want to take a shot off the T30, he's going to have a bigger gun, so I'm better off trying to take one shot of the tortoise and then get round him. But fortunately for me, he misses. I'm able to get round and trap him, and then he gets slapped by our fun police, and then I managed to finish him off. Now this here was a bit of a mistake here. Losing those hit points could have cost me there really. I had a bit more time than I thought, so at the time I didn't want to get stuck on this side and get shot by the enemy team, so I forced the issue, taking a gamble that maybe he wasn't quite looking at me. Unfortunately it didn't pay off, because like I say, I'll get slapped, and now I'm getting pushed by their light tank, and at this point I'm thinking it's all over for me, isn't it? But he actually rams me, and I lose a bit of health, but he then sort of just gets stuck on this ridge a little bit, and I'm able to sort of move around, try and trick his shot. He does get one into me, but then I shut him down. And, well, I guess I thought I was going to die, really, in that situation. So I guess I count myself lucky to get out of there with 100 hit points still. And also we've now taken out their light tank. So between me and my sort of support from the fun police, we have been able to sort of clear those 2 TDs and that light tank. which is good, but unfortunately we're still sort of losing this game. We've lost that side, so I can't stay this side of the map anymore. So I'm going to have to go over to the other side of the map, and I don't have a lot of hit points, so I can't. It's too risky to go and use the ridge in front of me, which I'd like to. So I'm going to have to try and play a little bit of distance, and just at this point, just try and pick up shots when we can. And I was thinking, well, if they go for our base, then maybe I'll be able to get a shots in if they try and cap. But as it turns out, that's not happening. Basically, they're not sitting in our cap, which is a shame because that would have gave me 3 damage. They're doing the right thing. They're basically, actually pushing for the win. But yeah, I'm just trying to spot and find out what's coming. Basically, we've got a shot into that TVP. We've got a couple of shots into that TD. But then we notice this TVP. Here he is. He's full, or practically full health. He's easily going to be able to take me out if I let him get close to me. So at this point, I've got to run. I've got to create my distance. Ideally, what I want to do, I'd like that E75 to engage him, because if he engages him and then the TVP drops his clip into him, then I'm able to then go after that TVP and try and get as much damage in as I can. Maybe if E75 put 1 shot into him, I potentially could kill him before he reloads again. We'd have to act fast. So he's popping in, he's putting his clip into the E75. I put 1 shot in, like I say, I wanted to stay for a second shot there, but I couldn't really risk it because I am a 1 shot, so I can't eat a shot from him. So I'm now just gonna. I was thinking maybe if I play up the top of this ridge, I could get a shot in, but then it looks like we just lost control of this map, completely now on this side. So again, I'm just gonna have to try at my best to just find anywhere possible to get my distance now, because if this guy closes in on me, he is going to kill me really. There's no question about it. If he gets close to me, I'm going to die. I don't have hit points to eat any shells. He's got 4 shots, he's not going to miss all of them, and he's got a very good interclip basically. So at this point, I'm waiting for him to go. He actually moves over, and now this is my opportunity, my window, just to try and move over here. You can see at this point I'm thinking the game is probably done anyway, because the enemy team are capping out. So I'm just going to try and push over, and I was thinking maybe I'll get a shot in the artillery or something to get as much damage as we can. But they move out of the cap, which is good, and there's this TD in front of me, so I'm going to try and help my friendly team, my only friendly guy left, see if I can kill this guy as quickly as we can, because it's not looking good now, is it? It's looking like this game is done. It's just about trying to get as most out as I can of the game in a losing sort of situation. Now I was going to go in for the artillery. Unfortunately, as I went over the ridge, we then found the other fun police, and that's left us in an awkward situation, isn't it? Now, there's not a lot I can do now, and the second fun police sends me to jail. I thought I'd just be able to maybe get under the ridge, but it'd already been reloaded. And yeah, he sent me straight to jail, wasn't he? He ruined my game. Well, no, not really. The game was pretty much over, wasn't it? But at the end of the day, we got a decentish game out of it, considering we were losing for really most of the game. We got 4 kills, 5,600 damage. We got 2.5k assistance. So yeah, for a loss, it wasn't too bad, was it? But yeah, that's it for this one, and we've got 1 more replay left, and I will see you in a bit. Hello, so we're back again for the second replay, and this time we've got a replay up in the AMX 50-120. And for those of you who follow Swindle 321, this replay was actually up on his channel, so you may have seen it before, but I wanted to put it up on my channel because I've had it saved for a long time and it was never up on my channel, so I thought, it's a good defeat and it will fit in nicely to the episode. So yeah, we're in the tier 9 medium French auto loader, and we're in Arctic region. Also, just one thing to mention, this is an old replay. The time I made this replay, I had one of the old original Xbox Ones, so the frame rate might be not as good as it usually is, so I apologise about that, but I just wanted to get this replay out there. So yeah, we're on Arctic region, and we're going to push up to this spot, which I do quite often take. normally just get the early bit of assistance damage, or maybe get this one clip in. We pop up, we do manage to spot the tanks. It's got like 390 view range. We've got good view range, you know, we're running optics as well. So we're just going to try and dump our early clip in, see if we can get some nice bit of early damage in. We do get tagged once, we lose our commander, and we decide we're looking for another shell, but I don't want to stay up there any longer because it was just not worth it. I was going to get hit, so I just reloaded, lose my spot, and then there's still stuff there, so I'm going to time it hopefully, so just as I'm reloaded I'll be able to poke back up again and see if I can get any more damage in, basically. We obviously popped the food originally to increase our view range, and obviously get our reload back down again. So we're going to pop up now, see if we can get any more damage. We know there's still stuff there, we just got to spot them, and there we go, there's the TDs. So we want to try and punish these if we can, because there's some quite nasty tank destroyers at the back there. We do manage to get 3 out of our 4 in, and we try and get a last one in, but unfortunately we don't quite manage to get that done. So it's at this point, normally when I play autoloaders, when I'm reloading, I'm always thinking, right, what am I going to do next? Because I've got this downtime while I'm reloading. Where am I going to move to potentially change locations to get more damage in? But at this point, I've realised, well, I don't actually need to move because there is still damage in front of me. So that I'm already at where the damage is located. I know there's those TDs still there. I'm just hoping they're going to get lit up, which they do. So we're now going to try and punish this guy. Really, if we could take him out of the game, it'd be good, because obviously it's a very nasty tank, 850 Alpha tank destroyer there, and we do manage to shut him down. So again, it's been a very solid start to the game, really. Already managed to get like 3 clips off, which is great, and pick up a little bit of assistance as well. Now, you notice I'm sort of looking around to my rock behind me just to acknowledge what's there and how much of my team's there. Just so I want to, if I need to sort of move and react to there, I can, but I don't think it's the time yet. There's still damage in front of me. They haven't quite pushed through yet, so I'm going to see if I can get a few shots into this E5 that's now trapped in the open. I'm trying to go for his drive wheel and pen him, because I think if I do, he might get stuck in place. He might get slapped by my artillery, maybe, which he does get hit, and I get a lot of nice bit of tracking assistance there. At the time I hadn't free marked this tank, I have now, but I think this was sort of just on the road to free marking the tank, basically. So every sort of this point now, I'm getting to the bit where I'm close to sort of the requirements for the tank. So every clip now is going to be making my MOE go up. So it's really important. You notice I keep pushing here because I want to spot the last TD, which is there. Now at this point I'm thinking I'm going to get hit by him, I think, whatever I do. So I'm just going to stay and make sure I actually get my shots in return, just to make sure taking that big shot was worth it. And we do manage to shut him down. It is unfortunate that we've got penned by him, but we're getting sort of pushed from the other side of the map. I wanted to kill him, and I just pushed up. Maybe I could have been more patient, but at this moment in time I didn't regret taking that shot, because it was actually, I'm going for the mark, so I was kind of thinking, oh well, now at this point I've already got my requirements, so I've only got to get one more clip and I'll probably go up quite a decent amount. But we're going to push up, and we're seeing this Vanguard going around. He's going to be a nuisance, because obviously in this location, if I get lit, I'm going to be able to get shot by the enemy team if they push around behind me. So I do, if I wanted to, try and take out that Vanguard, but at the moment I don't really have an opportunity. I can't really push round on the left, because if I did, I'd get slapped by their TDs. But fortunately for me, he's decided to push round into our base, so I've got an opportunity now to kill him. I need to connect with one of these shots. So far I've not done a great job at hitting him, but both those shots missed. But we've got one more opportunity to get a shot in, and just managed to get that shot in and we take him out. And that's good now, because he's out of the game, and we don't have to worry about him running around like a madman and keeping us lit up. Now, if you notice, on the right hand side of the map, so the top left hand corner of the mini map, it's not going so well for us. Our medium's in all sorts of trouble. I can't just get over there to help him, realistically, I would just then be outgunned. I would have just dropped my clip and die if I push over. So unfortunately I can't help it. The best thing I can do is sort of stay where I am, try and use these pushes, so if they do push around, I'll then be able to get my shots in. Like, ideally I'd like him, our team over there to start moving backwards, so then I can get some shots in, but it might not be possible. I can't see exactly what they're looking at to work out whether they could or they couldn't. So I've got no shots over there, so we're looking where I can get some shots in. I'm thinking maybe I'll be able to poke around here and get a shot at the back of these guys, but they're looking at me, and that was a little bit risky, wasn't it? Because that waffle could have potentially got a shot into me, but from where I was, it would have had to poke up a little bit higher, just with the gun depression. So we do manage to get one shot into him. Now it's in a situation, we've still got a fun police, so if I light these, you never know, you might be able to get shot basically. But looking at where our fun police is at the moment, he's probably not got any shots over there. He's obviously moving back because he realised that there's no one sort of defending him on the base really now, so he's going to try and reposition. I'm going to move back over to these bushes to see if they then push over. I knew a lot of them were lower health, so I might actually be able to take them out basically, and potentially take out two with one clip, because they were, I think there was like two of them which were one shots, and that's why I say it's always important, when you just take a note of your surroundings when you're playing, just to try and remember that sort of thing. Like you saw me when I was reloading earlier, I had a quick scan over there. That was just to try and remember what tanks they were, what health they were on. There's always a little bit of information can come in very handy. Now I'm hoping, do I manage to get a shot into here? And I just managed to get in for his turret. We take out that tank. There's another one shot. We're hoping maybe he makes the same mistake, and then we can take out two tanks, which would be really good in this scenario, because they are, we're even at the moment. It's been a very close game all the way through, and it's been one of the games I've pretty much stayed in the same location, but obviously that's where I needed to be, because I've got 5k damage and 1,400 assistance. Now this guy moves across and thankfully does that. We then shut him down, and now we're in a 4 versus 3. So yeah, it's in the balance, but it's one of them ones where you could go either way still. We're only one tank up, and it's very close. I don't have a lot of hit points, so both TDs will definitely kill me in one shot if they hit me, and that medium, he could kill me in one shot. He definitely could do, but with the low sort of rolls at the moment, there's also a good chance that he won't kill me, just because of the way the game is at the moment. You don't often roll for your average damage anymore. So at this point, they knew where I've been in that location a long time. The waffle obviously knew where I was, because I was shot him earlier. So I'm thinking I've got to move now, because I want to try and get to a different location, because obviously that medium who's coming for me now knew where I was. Now at this point I'm thinking, oh god, just don't kill me in one shot. Don't high roll, because if he does, then yeah, he's killed me. There's nothing I'm going to do. If he doesn't, then there's a good chance I'll kill him, because obviously I'm an auto-loader, and I'm just hoping he doesn't finish me off. He pulls around, he puts a shot at me, he leaves me on 3 hit points. I'm thinking, don't ram me. If he would have rammed me there, I would have died. But fortunately for me, he didn't, and I was able to shut him down. But now I'm sort of left in a 1 versus 2 scenario against 2 tier 10 tank destroyers. Now they're working in a platoon, these guys, so it's going to be, that makes it more troublesome for me, doesn't it? Because if they were on their own, there's a good chance that maybe you could catch one of them out by surprise and deal with them individually, but they're not. They're in a platoon. They're going to be working together, so that's going to make it, it's going to make it harder. Now I definitely can't take a shot from them. I've got 3 health, even if they're shooting HE at me. They can just splash anywhere near me and they're going to kill me. So I've just got to try, and the only way I can possibly see me winning this in this scenario is catching them by surprise, because I am an autoloader. I do have 4 clips, and I know at least one of them, the Waffle E100, was, you know, I could kill in 2 shots potentially. I couldn't remember how much health the other tank destroyer was on, but I'm thinking I'm just going to have to, you know, relocate and come from an angle which they're just not going to expect, or at least they're not going to know where I'm coming from, because if I'd carried on the other sort of angle, that they knew that's where my last known location was, and if they just pushed me together, good chance that they're gonna kill me basically. So I decided that I was going to move and just come from a different location and just see if I can catch them off guard. I was kind of hoping that maybe they'll just push out in the open. I could potentially, as I was moving around this angle, you never know, I might outspot them and get an easy kill. But so far, I haven't been able to spot them. So I have my sort of suspicions that they're probably in their base at the moment now, and that's going to be awkward for me to push. If they start turtling in, it's going to be very awkward. It's going to be challenging. So I'm going to have to try and catch them off guard. So you see, I've driven a long way around the map. There's now only 3 minutes left. So whatever I do, I've still got time. You know, there's no point panicking too much about the time, but it is something I need to be wary of. And as I've moved around here, I've got spotted by the E4. I've realised he's a 2-shot to me, but him spotting me first is, you know, I've lost the element of surprise now, haven't I? So I'm going to have to lose my spot. I was kind of just knocking down these trees at the moment, so he definitely knows I'm here, which maybe I should have tried to avoid hitting those, but at the same time, yeah, you know, I guess I could get some extra camo for being on them, but really I probably should have avoided hitting those. But just seeing if I can just try and very, very carefully poke round here and just see if I can outspot him and get a shot in. Unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to work the gun depression quite right there. So at this point, I think I'm just going to have to move back, because if he's moved right round that corner, I'm not going to get a shot into him. I'll give it one more chance to see if he's poked round, and fortunately for me he has, and I actually land a shot straight through his cupola. That was a very good shot, because now he's a 1-shot. Now I'm just hanging about for a little bit just in case he then comes out again, but then I've had a look at the clock and I thought it's 1 minute 50. He's probably just not going to make that same mistake and poke round. There is no way, and there's literally zero chance, if I try to take them front on when they're guys in a platoon and go around that corner, I'm not going to win. There's literally no way I could win by doing that. They'll be watching that, and yeah, it's just not going to be possible. So again, now I've had a look and I thought, right, what can I do? What options of attack have I got? And at this point I'm thinking the only thing I can possibly do is, if that E4 is looking around that corner, I could go through the bowl, go through the dip, come round and potentially come up and shoot him in the back. And that's really my only chance, the way I saw it, my only chance of winning this game, because at the moment, unless I kill one of those tanks, they win guaranteed. If I kill one of them, then it goes to what team's done the most damage. So there would be a chance of us winning if I just kill one tank. So that was my thought process at this point. I'm thinking, let's kill the A4, and then, you know, we've only got 40 seconds on the cap now. We can leave it to chance at this point, because I'm thinking that was my best scenario, because I only had 3 hit points left. So we're pushing up. We know where the E4U it was, so I'm hoping he's still in the same location. He is. I'm going to catch him off guard now. We put a shot into him. There's his buddy. He was waiting for me. You see, if I went this other way, I definitely would have died to that waffle. But now there's 20 seconds left on the clock. I've just got to run, because if he pushes down there, he's going to kill me. Now, at this point, I was like, do I just poke up and go for it and try and get a shot into this guy and definitely win it? But then I was thinking, is it really worth it now? Because I've only got like 3 seconds left on the clock. I potentially could win by damage, but unfortunately the clock runs out and we actually lose that game. But you know, I felt like I really think I tried to win. I did as much as I could, and it was still a good defeat. You know, I got 7 kills, 6,643 damage, 1,422 assistance. So like I say, I tried to win. Maybe if I knew I was on 7 kills then, I could have got Radley. I might have just gone for it anyway, but I didn't actually realise I was on 7 kills at the time. But yeah, anyway, so I hope you enjoyed these replays. Again, it generally does mean a lot to me that you watch the replays. I know I keep saying it, but that's because it does. And as always, happy tanking.